Good evening to one and all. I hope everyone's safe at home. Let's spread some good positivity today and share it with the people around us. You know, lockdown is extending, and this is what we need at this point of time. Positivity is what we need at this point of time. And so, my name is Sandeep Menon, and I'm the managing director for Fat Monk Production. This is week 6 of hashtag Breakdown, and it's getting better and better every week. Last few weeks we had directors, we had art director, we had DOPs coming in, sharing their experiences, sharing, breaking down their work. So it's always important for us to break down everything, to understand how some things are made, how what goes behind a creative process. Hence, today's session is more about, it's not about breaking down much of a lot of ad films or a lot of TV shows. Ideally, we're going to be breaking down the prep, or rather what goes before the show goes on floor. Ideally, what needs to be done as a filmmaker, or probably as a person, as a producer, or as a creative person. How do you approach a particular network with your work, and how do you present it? How do you express your work to the network, and how do you sell it at the end of the day? That's the main motto of everything. At the end of the day, you create something to for the people to see, and it has to reach the people through the medium that you choose. So these are some factors, which creative people should keep in mind, and they need to have handy, and when they walk into a meeting room. So we'll be taking a few examples over here. We'll be talking in detail over here. So who are we going to be talking to? We're talking to a close friend of mine who I've been associating almost like more than 12 years now. And he's played a role of a creative producer in films. He's been a creative director. He takes a role of a director as well. He's going to be starting his debut film post this lockdown, and I'm really happy to have Srimanto Sengupta and Sri. So, could you please come live, Sri?
Hello,
Hello, how are
can you see
you?
me?
Yes, I can see you.
Can you hear
You,
me properly?
of course, I can hear you. Nice haircut.
Right.
Right? How did you manage to do it through?
There's no haircut, the hair is growing. There's no cut on that.
So it's a self cut, I think.
Yeah, it is like it's a
The
self
lockdown,
version of that. Yeah, the
yeah,
lockdown version of that.
lockdown version. So, how you been?
How are you
So,
doing?
I'm good. I'm in God's own country and chilling over here because I left Bombay for some time to stay away from COVID, but COVID is running behind everywhere, I think. So
Yeah,
it's
same here. I'm also in Calcutta.
oh nice, superb. I mean, it's better to be closer to nature than in a flat in Bombay. I felt so. So I thought coming here would be a good decision. So, Shri, today, like how we had discussed, we hashtag breakdown is all about breaking down a lot of things. What goes behind a show? What is the creative process behind a show? So it's important for aspiring people as well as people who know stuff, and as well as audience who watch the end result, to know what goes behind a show, or a film or a TV show, and
Yeah,
and that what is the process that goes behind it. So
yeah,
you've been associating with various number of shows all throughout your life, and you've been through you sat on both the sides of the table. You sat on the corporate side and as a producer, so you exactly kind of know what goes on both the sides. I mean, what you need to prep when you go as a producer, or what does a channel or a OTT platform or a digital production house precisely looks in a person who brings in a concept. So without wasting much time, I would like to start firstly with one show which I liked when I long back when I was about to start my career, which I liked was there was a show called Big Switch which you did, and
yeah.
yeah, and I kind of liked that show because of the fact that it was offbeat. That's the time when roadies and all those things had started, and this was not at all in that zone at all. This was taking away the whole youth factor, and bringing in rich boys and making them do small time works. So I will just play for audience to recollect. I'll just play the promo of that. I've managed to find it on YouTube, so I'll just share that. It'll be a recall for you also.
Please do. Let me also have a look. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that show.
I'll just do that.
बिग स्विच 3 लाइफ विदाउट डैडी का पैसा। थोड़ा अजीब लग रहा है ना सुनने में? मैं बताता हूँ। कुछ लोगों की लाइफ का फंडा सिंपल है, लाइफ इज इक्वल टू पैसा।
I like partying.
Every day, like a party for me. Girls are my weaknesses, and money is my strength.
और कुछ का तो और भी सिंपल है, लाइफ इज इक्वल टू डैडी का पैसा।
I'm basically a vela.
I'm always chilling out.
थैंक्स डैड, आपकी वजह से मुझे मेरे क्रेडिट कार्ड्स मिल गए।
Shopping, yes, of course.
हर साल दुनिया भर में करोड़ों माँ बाप अपने बच्चों की कैसी भी डिमांड्स को पूरी कर देते हैं। इस साल ऐसे ही कुछ सुपर ब्राट्स ने रखी एक बिग डिमांड।
My big wish is that my father gives me a blank check.
I want to buy a H3 Hummer.
मुझे एक वर्ल्ड टूर पे जाना है।
सेक्सी स्पोर्ट्स बाइक।
और ये सुनकर उनके माँ बाप की सनक गई।
एक ही दिन के अंदर उसने 55,000 का शॉपिंग कर दिया।
गाड़ी लेके कभी भी जाएंगे, दिन भर घूमते रहेंगे, रात को आएंगे।
She was always a problematic child.
और फिर माँ बाप ने रखा एक छोटा सा चैलेंज, बिग डिमांड उसी की पूरी होगी जो जीतेगा बिग स्विच सीजन 3। ये चैलेंज मानकर बिग स्विच हाउस में ग्रैंड एंट्री मारी है 8 सुपर ब्रैट्स ने। पर अब जो होगा उसका इन्हें अंदाजा भी नहीं है। शुरू होगी इनकी एक नई लाइफ विदाउट डैडी का पैसा, जहां इनके नाम से अलग हो जाएगा इनके डैडी का नाम। गेम सिंपल है, यहाँ चलेंगे मेरे रूल। और मैं कौन?
फोन कॉल्स आएंगे, मैसेजेस आएंगे, ज्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे तो इसको रखो उसको निकालो। ये वो शो नहीं है।
अब मैं लाऊंगा इन सुपर ब्रैट्स की लाइफ में बिग स्विच, इसी शो पर।
मुझे करना ही नहीं। I quit the job.
That's what you do. You.
हमेशा डैडी से पैसे मांगने वाले हाथों में मैं काम दूंगा इसी शो पर।
I want to go back home today. This show.
बहुत ऐश कर लिया अपने डैडी के पैसों पर, अब पता चलेगा कौड़ी कौड़ी का भाव। माँ कसम बड़ा मजा आएगा।
UTV show, man.
You're not going out.
Please turn this camera off today.
I'm sure this was good fun. The way it looks like,
That's super fun. Yeah.
like all,
This is 10 years back, but it still looks fresh. Yeah. It's super fun.
and I think these are unlike a lot of shows where we do casting with actors and a lot of stuff. I don't think these are all real guys. I mean, these are all
Yeah, these are all real guys. See, the fun part of this, this is what the reason one of my favorite shows is the concept was very unique because we worked on it for almost, for a typical youth television non-fiction show, the pre-production time is 3 months, 3.5 months. For this show, time was nearly 10 or 11 months because we were working on the concept. We want to lock on the ideas. We want to lock on those casting process. So it's a simple concept that you bring these rich spoiled kids and you put them in a fish out of bowl scenario where they have never lived like this and they get the taste of their own medicine kind of thing. So if they've ever shouted on a pizza guy that have been delivered in 30 minutes, now they are delivering pizza to people's house. So that way it was super fun. Yeah. And finding these 8, I took, it was only the 4 months process to finding these 8 people. So you can imagine the amount of hard work went. I was roaming around all around the country to find these 8.
So, if you can just sum up, what was that question? So, how did you convince few people in this? Are these guys who wanted fame, or are these guys who wanted to be on TV? How was the convincing factor then?
See, more than convincing, the first part was how do you find these people? Because we have a prototype in mind, but we don't know how to get them. It's not that you walk into a place and you say, come. Yeah. Because, and since you've seen, these are the people, out of these 8, other than Sushant, nobody after that you never find them in any other reality show or anywhere. Because they were not aspiring actors, no. They were actual real people.
Yeah.
So it's not that you go and tell them, come on television, they will come. They say, no, we are not interested. The only thing excited them, okay, this is something which is challenging and we try to crack a deal with their parents that, okay, if I win the show, I'll get whatever I want. And their demands were big. They want to go for a world tour. They wanted a blank check. They wanted a Ferrari. So their parents said that, okay, I'll give you, go. It started off as a fun. So for the kids also it was fun. For the parents also it was fun. For us also it was fun. So, but the difficult part of the process was to actually, I had to hunt down these people. But who are these people? I was traveling all across Delhi, Chandigarh, Bangalore, and everywhere. And it's not that I have a prototype in mind, but it's not that non-fiction is you can't find the same person which is there on your paper.
Correct.
So you meet and then you realize this could be. So one of the contestants, I would not name, but and this is a web portal, so I can talk about it. One of the contestants I was when we were looking for, and me with my assistants and associates, we were there, and with the meeting with this guy got decided that in a pub he will come and meet us. So it was around 6 o'clock, and I was just finishing the day's work at that time. And he was the last guy who was supposed to meet in the pub. So he came, and he was already sloshed. He came with two of his friends. He was sloshed. He sat in front of me, and the first question he asked, "Sir, cocaine karoge?" That is the first question he asked. And I was like, no. And I was feeling very uncomfortable. And I finished quickly, asked few questions, I finished the meeting in like 10 minutes. And I said, chalo, I have to go. I'm really tired and all. I flew down today. And went back hotel. And that night I was thinking, okay, maybe this is the guy I want. That he's annoying. He's spoiled. And I want. So next day again contacted him. And I said, you will come for the show. And he said, I don't know. I mean, kya karunga show jaake and all. I was trying to convince him, I think you should come, man. And he's a super guy. I mean, he gave me content. He was a lovely guy. He really reformed in the show. And he's the guy, actually, if you follow the show, you realize he's the guy. He, just before, 7 days prior to my shoot, and I was convincing my producer and channel that I want this guy. He should be in the show. And he broke his leg. And he said, "Maine पैर टूट गया मेरा." And I said, but tu toothe टांग के साथ आएगा. And everybody in the show was saying, how can a contestant enter the show with a broken leg? I said, I don't care. Because in a show where a contestant walks in with a broken leg, get him, because even with broken leg, he's superb. And it was a superb thing. I mean, so there was no prototype. I never went out to look for a guy with a broken leg. But then this became famous.
How did you convince Rohit Shetty for this? How was he the thing also that people also wanted to associate with the show? These guys?
He was very much. When we told him the concept, Rohit Shetty is a fabulous guy, and he has actually worked his ass off to whatever he's reached today. So it's his complete own struggle, and he's seen that all throughout.
True.
So when we told him this, he was damn excited. And I said, these guys are going to be really brash and really spoiled. He said, I will manage. Don't worry. Just don't worry, I'll manage. So every time I has to go and tell him, these are the contestants during the show. And they're really pissed look because we made them work really shitty stuff, and they look really pissed. And today, and he's like, just chill. Let me manage. I'll manage. And he used to manage every time. He said, kya kiya usne pata? I said, ye kiya, wo todfar kiya. Okay. And now leave it on me. I'll do it. He was involved and he was enjoying that. But yet he actually worked like a big brother out there. Like he wanted to help these kids. Yeah. Not only took their case, but also told them the value of money they realized. Like, it was damn good.
Nice. So I mainly, the reason why I took this show to know is to understand. Now this was something which was done in I think 2011, 12 or something around that time.
Yeah.
So how was the pitching process of this at that point of time to the channels, or what went behind this? What was the initial seed, or rather the idea? How did it all start? And how did you get the show?
It's a very interesting story that the idea always comes, it's a germ, it's a thought, it's a one-liner idea comes that, okay, what if you put these people and put them in a scenario? So the idea, if I tell you the idea in simple, which I told again, but if I elaborate, you take these 7, 8 kids, they're rich and spoiled and they've never walked out of their comfort zone. You put them in a structure where they will be living in a house where there's no comfort. And if you want those comforts, which is whatever, even if it's AC, even if it's mirror, even if it's like whatever they like, whatever the food, pool table, swimming pool, whatever, that's their comfort thing, that's their luxury. If you want these things, you have to work hard and we will give them tasks, and those tasks were not random tasks, something which to do with life. So either you work as a pizza delivery boy, or work in a restaurant, or you be a vada pav bhaji wala, or you do a window cleaner, and you do your work, and based on your work, together all of them earn some point which is converted to a show money, and through that they can buy those luxuries. Okay, so that was the concept. Now, to pitch this show, so because when we are pitching the idea, because this was the third season of that particular show, and first two seasons has two different concepts. This was complete new, brand new version we are bringing. So to pitch this, I thought that let's go with a fresh approach, because we can't pitch it like a normal show pitch. And I was one of those guys always that even when you're working for a pitch, even if it's one single show we're working for a pitch, it should be different. We can't pitch it like a PPT, because I always find PPT very boring. I mean, nobody wants to look at a PPT. Okay, let me open a PPT and you think, oh my God, okay, it's a 20 slide one.
They look at how many slides are there too.
Correct. Quickly they want to see how many slides are there. And the font size and everything matters.
Yeah.
I said, now go with the PPT and let's go with the AV. Let's shoot a promo kind of thing, so that it's very easy to, you see it and you realize. So we almost spend time 20 days to decide what is the promo. I still have the promo. And I can play it for you guys. It's a long one, 4 minutes, but if I play the first 2 minutes, you'll understand how the approach happened.
Sure.
Let me just play the 2 minutes, and then I'll probably Can you hear the audio?
Yeah.
दुनिया में प्यार जब बरसे ना जाने दिल ये क्यों तरसे.
It just started off as a game.
I had asked my parents if I could go to London. Nothing too expensive, just stay at a 5-star, shop at London's fashionable West End, like usual,
BMW की एक स्पोर्ट्स बाइक मांगी थी. ये नहीं कि कोई बेंच और फार्मूला 1 की कार मांग ली हो. पैसा किस वास्ते कमाते हो? और पैसा है क्या? अगर बाप मेरा है तो पड़ोसी का बेटा थोड़ी मेरे बाप के पैसे खर्चेगा. 14 रुपए खर्चे, 14 लाख रुपए. पैसा मैं कमाऊंगा, मेरा बाप कमाए, क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
दुबई शॉपिंग फेस्टिवल है यार, इतना तो बनता है. So my parents were like, fine, we'll get your tickets. Why didn't you do something for us?
I thought at the most, क्या करवा लेंगे मुझसे?
Maybe give some money at some charity to some Bukananga Indians.
Or give up partying for a week. I said yes. और जो उसके बाद गांड लगी.
So we moved into this penthouse in South Bombay. We had everything we needed there. Pool tables, swimming pools, spas, AC, laptops, everything.
Then we found out that we ourselves have to take care of the house and pay a huge amount of rent every second day.
You know what is more funny, that I know a lot of people in this.
Still, they still exist.
They're all. It's a good way to convince. Yeah, I mean the concept is sold in this ideally.
Yeah, it was a 4-minute one, and it's basically these are the. I mean, obviously they were actors and crew members and all, and they were acting out like the contestants, and it's like it is designed as if after the show, what will the contestants come out of the show and talk about?
Correct.
And that's how the show was pitched.
Yeah.
So people can almost see the content, how they were fucked, and they were like going completely mad to do those tasks, and it was complete a fish out of water scenario. So it was very easy to convince the platform or the channel those days. Kind of, they could see the content. Oh, these are kind of content we're gonna see.
Nice.
So it was easy, and so it was fun thing.
So this is all that took to sell this show, ideally.
This is all because it's basically a handycam shoot, and and not even a proper camera. It's a handycam shoot. That is why the video quality, to match it, I've given them like a high contrast thing. It's all colorful, high pitch kind of thing.
So
and it just
if quickly you have to tell me, if quickly you have to tell me in five points or something, what are the essential things that you need in a pitch? Now, consider this is not 10 years back. I mean, things are changing slowly. There's OTT platforms also coming up. The challenge of pitching is I think raising the bars are raising. So what are those 5 mandatory things or 6 mandatory things that you think that we should ideally have?
See, pitching is very important in the sense because pitching means it's a part of development. So a show gets greenlit, and that's why 120 people, 200 people come to work on that show.
True.
So, but for that 200 people to come and work on that show, there is 1 or 2 or 3 people, they need to go and sell the show. So developing the pitching is very important. And we are constantly pitching as a producer, as a director, as a creative director. You are constantly pitching either shows or promos or films or ads. So I always say that pitching, I started doing this development work in 2009. Almost like 11, 12 years I've been doing this. I always felt that what I told, that it has to be, when you walk into the room and they know, even if they know that we've come to pitch 3 or 4 shows, it's very important that you break their expectation. If you open a PPT, they know कि there will be 4 shows and 4 PPT होंगे, एक में 20 slide होंगे, अच्छा हम लोग को 1 घंटा खेलना है. Not always, of course, they want an interesting show, and not always everything is boring. But even if the first 2 slides they understand what is it going to be. Now the next 18 slides is they're just sitting and yawning and then looking at the watch, and it's very challenging at that.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a PPT, you have to be very careful what you're pitching, and it to be very short and simple.
Yeah. Not always text and not filled with all those.
Yes, very less of text and more of pictures and all.
Yeah.
I personally always like the process to audiovisuals, AVs. That's why I've always pitched to AVs. Even if you shoot a 5 minute or 2 minute or 30 seconds or whatever, a promo which convinces people, okay, this is exciting, I want to watch more. Even if you start the presentation with a 30-second promo and then go to a PPT, people are still, that hangover is still there. People will still look because they're still in that awe, if you can get that attention.
Yeah.
And it is not only always a elaborate 2 minute or 3 minute. Even if you do a 30-second promo pitch, even if you do a concept pitch, like I can tell you, there was a presentation we did for a show. It was in 2014. I'm talking about, and it was a PPT format. But what I did, it's a youth show of a bunch of friends, and one of the friends commits suicide, and no one knows it's a suicide or a crime in that space. So the presentation was in the form of a PPT only, but it looked like a WhatsApp chat. So let me just have a look. I'll give a glimpse of it, show you a glimpse of it.
What was the show?
It never materialized that way. Actually, it materialized but some other way. But I'll show you the pitch. You realize that how we converted the simple PPT presentation to a complete different feel we gave. One thing.
So this is something you played initially, and then you went for the pitch, ideally. As soon as you got into
the for this there was no AV. For this was the only thing.
Oh, nice.
The one I'm talking about, this was the only thing. Share screen.
Nice.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
It's got stuck. So this is how it starts. It starts like a
WhatsApp chat.
It starts like a WhatsApp chat.
Okay.
And with every click, the chats appear. So when I was presenting, it's just a conversation of few friends.
Yeah.
And they're joking and they're talking and they're saying, what's up? Somebody's cracking a joke. Somebody's saying that, okay, there's a new girl in the college. Something. I'm just quickly taking it through.
Yeah.
And beyond that, what happens is that there's one girl who only says that it's not good to joke. It's about somebody's personal life. You guys need to understand. And others say, hey, what's wrong with you? I mean, it's just fun. And she said, no, sometimes it's not fun. And after that, she goes quiet. And the next day morning, they realize she's dead. And that's where the show starts. So the pitch happened this way. So initially it looked like a fun WhatsApp chat you are reading, and it's like a it's like almost a voyeuristic pleasure of reading a friend's chat.
Yeah.
And suddenly you stop at moment and you realize, oh, what is the girl replying? And you say that there's no reply, and then you stop the presentation, you say that, and the next day the girl died. And automatically people are okay, what's the show? And
yeah, nice.
So that is how to always reinvent the wheel. So even if it's PPT, this is how you do it. Nowadays, a lot of things have come, because nowadays it's even more difficult to even do a AV, because so you have to do probably an AV, probably an interactive thing. So I have pitched something with an interactive thing. I mean, you try to do a little bit of interactive. Imagine, okay, predicting this is what would be your answers, and let us prepare with something. So you have to reinvent just to grab people's attention.
Sometimes
and I'm saying,
it's
even after doing that, sometimes you walk out of that meeting room with no show. But that's okay. You have to always give it a try, because you never know what will be taken.
Sometimes judging their reaction is also important, I think.
Very important, because you have to change the game middle of the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember I was pitching something to pitching a show, and I had a full presentation ready. And while I was taking through, I realized they are not interested in this.
Yeah.
They're interested in something else.
Yeah.
So I opened a blank document, and I said, "Oh, if you want this one, you should listen to my version 2." And said, "Yeah, please talk about your version 2." And I spoke about my version 2, and they said, "Yeah, this is what we like." Version 2 is blank page. Only I can see And I said, "Yeah, this is great. I'll mail you guys once you reach it. I'll mail you guys." And I'm like, and I came out. I said, "How do I mail them? I can write that." But yeah, you have to do all these things too.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, sometimes when we go for the pitch, there is the story gets interesting. There'll be one small thing. Maybe, for example, there is something of drugs or something. So usually, all the platforms are a little scared to put these kind of things. So the moment drugs come in, there'll be like drugs, and then we analyze. Okay, fine. Now, if we take further this story with the aspect of drugs, it's going to go there only. So now, like, we can also play without it. I mean, there's also an aspect.
You have to quickly adapt to their system.
Yeah, it's not the main thing of the story. It's just a part of it which just goes into it. So yeah, I mean that's the way. I mean, it's very important. I've understood that way. Cool. So coming to now. As these days, there is a lot of people who goes and they, everything boils down at the end of the day to budgets. Okay, how do you kind of crack that, or how do you convince them and then crack that, or do you go with the budgets first itself? What is the approach for that, budgets, when it comes to budgets?
Not always. If you are doing if it's a show, then you always know the budget bracket, because if you're going for a youth platform, if you're going for a GC platform, you almost know the budget bracket and you pitch it on that. Unless you're pitching something way above the budget and you pitch it with the plan, keep this out of the budget and let's pitch something big. Correct. If you're coming for film, there's nothing like that, because then film can be mounted in different budgets. Depends on the star cast, depends on how big you want to go for. So not always you keep the budget in mind. It happens both ways. Sometimes you go with the content, and then when I was with a film studio, the content used to come to us, and not even that. Sometimes the writer director also doesn't know that. We always suggest them, let's mount it big. If you're thinking it's like a 20 crore film, no, let's mount it like a 50 crore film, because this has a potential. Sometimes they come with a 50 crore plan and you say, no, this is something great idea, but it will only work as a 20 crore film. Yeah. So let's mount it that way, because not always design. I mean, you design it as a 50 crore thing, and then if box office it fails, then so you have to be always there. Nobody can guess what's going to come. But at least as a creative person, it is our job is to mount it in such a way that less amount of loss we could see from that.
Correct.
Unless you believe in the project and you say, and everybody says that let's take a jump and let's see what's going to happen. Those are once and twice, a year problem. Otherwise, you always have to know the content and then play it.
So especially these days, what I have been seeing is, I mean, I also get calls from people saying that, can I get an LOI from a channel? I said, how can it be possible? I mean, channel hasn't even seen your work till date. Okay, you're saying that you're going to produce something, and you're saying that you will be putting it, you will be putting it in. In the OTT platform, say Amazon or say Netflix, and then suddenly after that, they say that I need an LOI for this without seeing it, or rather just pitch, and then sometimes people even put in budgets or put in their own money, thinking that okay fine, टीवी पे नहीं जाएगा या थिएटर पे नहीं जाएगा तो डिजिटल पे तो I will sell it off. Do you think that's a wise idea?
Personally, I think it's not a wise idea.
Because you've been in jungle.
Yeah, see, when I used to work for the film studio, a lot of people used to come with their ideas, and a lot you come for a film idea, and they'll pitch it to us, and we'll tell them, it lacks somewhere. It is not a box office material. It's not a feature film material. I mean, it's content is still not fleshed out, or probably it's too edgy. Then a lot would say, okay, because we were producing content for web as well. And a lot would say, okay, it's go web ke liye bana dete. So it's not that whatever form it is, if you can't sell it to web, make it to feature. If you can't make it to feature film, make it to web. It doesn't happen that. You have to design and set and understand the format. A film is a 1.5 hour, 2 hour long 3-act structure. A web series is a 10-part series. They are two different things altogether. A lot of time people will come with even if they are pitching a series, you would feel that it was not designed as a series. It was designed as a 3-act structure film. And now that it's not been sold somewhere, now trying to make it a 10-act. But the 3-act structure is very clear. And after the 3rd episode, there's not much to move forward. And then they will expect, okay, हम बना लेते हैं फिर आपके पास लेके आता खरीद लो. It doesn't happen that way. That it cannot fit into the platform or a studio's scheme of thought. I mean, we probably have produced 3 thrillers, and you brought another thriller. We will not buy it, no matter how good it is. You will think, we've already produced 3 thrillers. There's no need of a thriller probably, if it's not something really great. Or if it is designed, I mean, it's a good film, but maybe not with that amount of budget, because you probably spend too much of budget. Or if you've done the film, but there's no big name or no name to that. So sometimes it is difficult to sell in the box office. I'm not saying that you always need names, but it gets difficult. So you have to understand these things. If you pre-plan it and then go ahead, it's always easier to do that, because you know what you're getting into. That the loss is less, that I would say. Because it's creative thing. We may make a really brilliant thing and people may completely reject it and say, we don't want to watch it. We've always seen those films and shows. And we've always worked on those kind of things where we thought it is great but never worked out. So I would suggest that through paperwork properly, the paperwork has to be done properly. The script has to be really good. It's thorough research done on that. And then you work on the budget, and then you come and pitch. So that as a producer, as an OTT, when I'm listening to that, I know that they have done their background work properly.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly seen, because a lot of people I've also seen, I mean, they get a base structure of the story and then come to you, और फिर होने के बाद फिर सोचते हैं कि आगे लिखना है या इसको पढ़ाना है, It happens. A lot of people have come, and some stories are really good, so they come to pitch to me, and they say the story, and then I say, okay, I would like to hear more. That's when the fish is caught, and that's when they say that.
I remember I was doing a show. I was about to do a corn show, and corning is something I was always very I like the subject.
Yeah.
So various writers were coming to pitch ideas. So one writer came in, and I told him. He said, "I have understood the brief. And within 10 days, I'll come with a brilliant script." I said, "Great. Within 10 days, you come with a brilliant 40-minute, 1 hour script of a corn show is great. One episode of each episode is one corn." He comes and he says that it's a story of 2 brothers, and they are in a chawl, and the story starts. They're sitting in the chawl, and they don't have money. And one of the guys says, we can do this corn, and it'll give us a lot of money. And then do this. Then they did that corn, and it gave them like Indian or money. I said, but what is the con rate? I said, then I'll figure out. I didn't say, that we'll figure out later, but listen to the story. So then they thought, we'll do this bigger con. I said, what is the bigger con? We'll think about it later. I said, but what? So yeah, this is how it worked. He's worked the entire show where we'll figure out the con later. But this is what is going to happen. So like, yeah, I mean, but we all have got these kind of pitches.
So, see, you're getting into films now. So, now you're going to be playing a role of a director soon. So, the struggle is at the end of the day, when it comes to anything, be it a role of a producer, a director, there is an equal part for everybody in that. But you as a director, now are you a person who says that stay close to your subject, or are you a person who says that, okay, fine, some things I have written now may not work now, but it might work later on, or maybe it's outdated, or maybe it is, it's not necessary that just because I wrote it, I have to make it.
No, it is not. So that is why, see, personally what works, because I worked as a creative producer, creative director, producer for quite a long period of time. Whenever I decide something that, okay, this is my feature film material, because I'm about to shoot one which is ready material, and there are a couple of which is on the discussion stage, which is my next kind of. And there are a couple which I'm writing and trying to make in the web platform, web feature kind of. It's not so, but whenever I'm deciding something, I'm trying to make it so that it is relevant. Because I know the process of filmmaking, that way it's going to take time. If today I've thought of a nice idea, by the time I'll be finishing my script, it'll be almost 6 months, 8 months, a year kind of. Then the pitching process will start, and it will take another year and a half to, even if I strike.
True.
So it cannot be something that by the time it goes to that stage, it's your dated, it's been done.
True.
And I always keep in mind, okay, I'm not an established director. I'm also new. Even if I make my first, I'm in the first 3 films, you're in the new category. So I cannot design something which requires that much amount of money. Then no producers will spend that money. So I have to smartly. So I use my producing skill, and I try to design things which is relevant, which is smart, which can be converted. So if it is, if there's a scenario which is based in hills, one of our characters is based in the hills. If the producers have money and they want to go to UK, let's go to shoot in UK. If they say, no, we don't have money, okay, let's go to Manali, we can do it. It is written that way.
True.
So that my project doesn't get suffered because of that. And I'm not dependent unless the story is based on that and you cannot move it. Then it's a different story.
I think this is a very good lesson which people who are making stuff for OTT platforms today has to keep in mind. I mean, irrelevant of your locations and backgrounds and stuff like that, your story is the main part. Be it like how you said, be it UK or be it Manali. At the end of the day, what's important is that the story and the character who drives it.
Correct. So that's why I say, unless it is dependent. If you want to make a story on Jallianwala Bagh, you need Jallianwala Bagh. You need 300, 400 people. But if it's not that, then you should not stick yourself, I'm pretty passionate that I want that UK shot. Then you have to wait for it. There's no worry for it. But you have to wait for it. Somebody is willing to spend that much money that you can go abroad and shoot.
True. So coming to that smart shoot, I saw last one thing on WhatsApp you had forwarded to me. You had sent me some Nykaa shots.
Lockdown film.
Lockdown film. I found it quite smart way of shooting. I really liked because I initially when the story started, I was thinking, I thought you're making a portrait film, So and then I understood, it is actually a portrait film, but shot very nicely, in a very smarter way. Then I understood that, okay, fine. The first question to you also, if I remember, I said, budget bahut bacha liya na. So yeah, I'll just show that to people, and then we'll talk about it.
It's actually best viewed in mobile because it's a vertical format.
I'm playing it on YouTube actually right now.
It got its most view from Instagram.
India's coronavirus hotspot. and more than 70 people are now known to have died.
देश भर में 32 लोगों की मौत हुई है। बीते 24 घंटे में 227 नए मामले मिले हैं और इस दौरान 3 की मौत भी हुई।
Until you have an extensive testing and isolation strategy, or you can just stay on lockdown for long periods of time.
The largest coronavirus lockdown in the world is happening right now in India. The country's 1.3 billion people are...
Hey, what's up? कुछ पता चला?
नहीं, अभी तक तो कुछ नहीं।
बेब तू ठीक है ना?
अच्छा सुन ना, let me call you back.
Okay.
Yeah.
चल।
So, what I want to know, what was the initial thought or pitch rather, and how did you approach this shoot?
See, when the shoot approach, we did a lot of planning because this is one of my friends who produced it. He contacted me and said, I want to make something on this because obviously lockdown at its peak, and we want to do something in the desktop format. And I suggested, let's do it in a mobile format. Let's do the first vertical mobile format brand film, never been done. So we were damn excited. The difficult part was that we were all over the country. So, and सब घर पे बैठे हुए थे. So, I was the lead actor, Akanksha. I never worked with her. This is the first time I was working with her. She was in Bombay. I was in Cal. One of the producers was in Chennai. My editor was in another part of Bombay. And I was first time working with a producer. I was first time working with Akanksha. So it was first we needed this massive coordination to know each other. Then I had to brief her because it is something completely done over video call and all.
Direction through video call.
So direction through video call where I don't have the liberty to even say action. Yeah. So I have to explain the thing to the artist.
Yeah.
And then I will go offline. Then she'll shoot herself. And this has to be one take because it's a video call format.
Yeah.
It can't be 5 in parts. It has to be one take. So she will go for that 2.5 minute one take with 2-3 rehearsals. Then she'll shoot. Then she'll forward me that. It'll take some time to download on my system. I will watch it. And then I'll say, you know what? It's not working, the reaction.
Yeah.
Again, I'll brief her. Again, she'll do that. Again, that time. Then again, she said, I will watch and say, this is perfect, but you kept the fan on. So there's a lot of audio. So even to shoot that 1 minute chunk, right? We have to do at least always a 1 minute took almost an hour and a half to get.
There's no dub in this. It's all real audio.
It's all real audio.
Oh, nice.
We couldn't dub because dub would have been a real problem. We get the real audio, and every time I had to set the frame, and the best part was she was shooting with the the rear camera, not the front camera. So when you shoot with the front camera, you can see yourself what you do.
Yeah.
With the rear camera, you don't see. You can't see. You have to predict the camera in the frame. So a lot of times the frame goes haywire because we've done a beautiful expression, but the frame is completely gone.
Yeah.
So to shoot this 6-minute, it actually took us shoot and edit because the edit was really lengthy process because we had to create everything, every interface, every dot, ping, every WhatsApp message, time, color, everything is created. So my editor Debashish Deba did like a splendid job out there.
Yeah.
So me and my producer friend and we all were like constantly. It took us almost a month to took out this 5 minutes and discuss over, and everything is happening over phone call. So, but this we realized this is once we did that, we realized it's difficult, but it's a new way of shoot we have to adapt to. I mean, because the way the scenario is going, and probably few more days, few more months, we'll have to stay at home and be safe.
Very true.
So we have to adapt to this kind of structure to shoot more stuff that way.
So I just want to know. So just to ask, obviously a phone. You have done this on phone, but is phone going to be our future, or is phone going to kill us, kill our quality? shooting on phone?
It's a very debatable thing. These days, the phone's coming with great cameras. So if you're really sure of your content, you can shoot that. If you're not sure about it, it's going to be very, very dangerous, because then you don't know what you're getting into. You need to know. We shot something which is conversations of people over phone call. So the phone quality is great for that.
Yeah.
And we shot with 4K quality. So phone is giving us 4K quality. So that way it's sorted. And production quality means, people were shooting at their own house. So they were, whatever product they had, they kept it, and they managed to do the art direction. So an artist is also an artist, and DOP and a light and a gaffer and an art director. Yeah. So you do that way. So it is possible. It is possible to do great content, great products through projects, whatever you call it, through that. But you need to know your content. If you don't know your content, then you probably won't be able to make a good product out, I would say.
Okay. So, I want to know now, what is your expectation? Now you're going to be starting your project post-lockdown. Now the scene is not going to be like how you used to shoot in Bombay with 300 people, 400 people on set anymore. Now, be it Kolkata, be it wherever you are, at the end of the day, what do you think? How are we going to approach our shoot post-lockdown now?
See, mine is a multi-star in a regional structure. So I'm anyway quite screwed out there because it needs that amount of people. But I talk to my actors and producers and all on a regular basis. So we all know that now from our end, we have to cut down the number of people on set. Number of spot boys and makeup, and sometimes we splurge on that, we have to cut down on that. The basic amount of people required would be required on that. But I personally feel that film is a kind of format where you cannot do, not many projects we can do with the smartness. Some you can do, but film needs that thing where you would require, three friends sitting kandhe mein haath rakh ke. You would require a lover's moment. You would require fight sequences. Those things are required. So I would suggest that if the COVID scenario is stopping us to do these things, then we would rather sit and wait and produce the kind of content, to make the kind of film which is possible in that. Then let's design the story such a way that it doesn't demand. Then we can, if you make, just an example, if you make a movie like Her, it's a film, it's a super film, but it can be done in this kind of scenario. Or even if you do, I was watching this series in Apple, Shyamalan has this series called Servant. Now, this was designed and shot and made way before COVID, but that series actually has 3 or 4 main characters, and it's 80% or 90% of the series is shot inside a house. And it is not because of COVID and all, because the story demands that way.
Yeah.
So if we think that kind of content, if you focus and research and work on that kind of content, then it will be produced. And if you have stories ready with the, the pre-COVID days, the typical way of thing, then if you can modify, great. Otherwise, wait till the time gets better and you can shoot in a professional. So it has to be that way.
Cool. So there are 2 things which people have asked on the live. One is someone has asked us to share some anecdotes of EA, and also somebody's requested you to sing a song. So I also know,
I can't sing a song.
I also know the fact that you're a good.
I can talk a lot about EA. I've done that show for many years.
Yeah.
But then the Emotional Attachar is it's a cult show. We produced it in 2009 first it came, and we did it with whatever equipment possible. And the best part, the fun part of that, even if you leave aside the controversial side of it, we were shooting with equipments daily basis. So
I remember a lot of hidden cameras, lot of this, lot of that.
And those cameras used to come on a daily basis. So if today, imagine if your girlfriend comes to the show and says that I want to do a sting on Sandeep, and I said we will do it, and we have been in our budget, in the structure, we know we can follow you for 3 or 4 days, let's say. So I have to take the guarantee from the production head. Okay, today I'm gonna follow him, And today, I'm sure we will catch him doing something. So with hidden cameras are coming and rented on that particular day. And if it doesn't happen, and that particular day, you don't feel, you just meet the girl and you don't exchange nothing. My production heads catch one doesn't catch this. No content camera. I said, well, what can I do? So that was the fun part. I mean, the production and the logistical part was the hilarious thing we were trying to do. And the equipment will not work. You know, batteries will stop working, and we got great what we call content in our thing, and said, what the record to me? So with that kind of structure, we managed to pull off a show like that. And a very good friend of mine, a colleague, said when we were designing that pilot, they said, "अच्छा ये कैसे करेगा? तो कितना एपिसोड प्लान कर रहा है?" सर, I don't know, 10 या 12 एपिसोड एक सीजन. सर पागल एक ही हो पाएगा, इससे ज्यादा नहीं हो पाएगा. And we also not sure कि चलो एक कर लेते हैं, let's pitch it and see कैसे होता है. And then we produced so many episodes of that. But it was fun. I mean, I got the maximum fun from that show.
How did you convince? What is the first pitch for this with the channel? Like, did you say that I'm going to make a show on?
We had an AV. I don't have that AV. We had an AV, and AV and the concept in 2-line was very volatile. That somebody comes for a loyalty check and we do a sting and check that. I mean, and the first thing from the Canon side was, how is it possible? And said, this is how we're going to do it, hidden camera. They said, you're going to do it? You will be able to do it? We said that, we'll try. I'm hoping we can get that. That's how we started. We were not sure about it, what we were going for, but we went ahead. So we tried.
So the production versus creatives. Someone says that it's a very big issue. I also agree. I was on both the side. I was in
I played both sides.
And I was here, but then now I pity the producer these days because I am sitting in that boat. But then nobody understands the plight of a producer. Everyone thinks that पैसे लेके बैठा है ये बंदा, इसको क्या होगा?
Correct.
So it's a usual fight which keeps happening. The production versus creative, but at the end of the day, the product is what is important. I feel. I mean, I understand the producer also doesn't want to make a shit-ass product at the end of the day. They also want to do the best of it because they're putting the money. They need to give the best output. या तो काम नहीं मिलेगा इसके बाद. So it's the fight is on. The fight is always on.
See, I would always say the production, the producer, I mean, not the owner of the company, but the production head or whatever, production controller, what we say. That person needs to understand creatives very well, and the creative director needs to understand production. If it is not done, then there'll be a problem. Both parties need to understand. If I am as a creative director spending money, why am I spending money? And if I am as a production head controlling money, why am I controlling? If that is clear, then I think it's out.
Yeah. Cool. So we have 5 minutes to end the session. So I think 3 people have asked for a song. Come on, you can do 2 lines here. It's an unplugged request.
Those must be my friends, and they know. And because they can see this, I'm still practicing this. I don't even know how to play this. I think that is
I think that is the reason why people have asked for a song.
Yeah. I know. But that is, leave it for some other session. We'll do a proper music session. And Nishant Nayak will do a multicam for that. We'll do a Coke studio for that kind of thing. But I've never done a musical show that way, but I was watching Nishant's thing and
Nishant was amazing stuff he's done.
He's shot some great music videos, and Coke Studios, his Coke Studio was a super one.
That season was very good actually. Amazing season. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that kind of brings end to our conversation, Sri. We have 3 minutes left, and you have anything to say for the people who are actually this is a season for pitching actually, because lockdown is there and the channels are actually kind of gathering the content to go on floor post the lockdown. Anything to people? I think a lot of people are finding it very tough because conversion ratio is very bad, because you can't blame the channel also because they don't know when they're going to go on floor, on what basis will they approve things, and so what do you have to tell these
so people? I would say this is the time, if you have time to work from home or sit at home and spend much time with your laptop or your book or whatever, prepare your pitch, prepare your idea. I mean, if it's a film or a show or a short film or a music video, whatever it is, if you want to write, you want to pitch, just prepare it with the backbone. So research well, plan the pitch properly, write, spend time, because when things will go better, people will look for more content.
Very
And
true.
if you believe in the content, then you should pitch for it. Then you should be ready with it and pitch for it. No matter what, who says, whatever, even I am saying in this session, if you believe in it, you should always go for it.
Very true. I mean, this is a I say this is a luxury we've got, because there is no way
Yes.
I can ask a producer saying that मेरे को एक महीना दे दे, मैं घर जाके research करके आता हूँ. You know, so this is a luxury actually for the people who are the thinkers and creative people. If they have scribbling is something which all the creative people do. Now this is the time to take that scribble out and make stuff out of it. So you should make use of it rather than
Absolutely
cribbing about the fact that ये नहीं हो रहा है, वो नहीं हो रहा है, conversion नहीं हो रही, ये नहीं हो रहा है.
correct.
Cool.
आज नहीं होगा, 2 महीने बाद होगा, but at least take these 2 months time to prepare your pitch properly.
Very true. Anyway, Sri, thank you so much, and we'll keep in touch on phone. And
Thank you very much.
Our unplugged session is also left. We'll
Yes,
do that.
yes.
We'll do that next.
We should.
I'll make breakdown unplugged next for that.
Yes, we should.
It was super fun talking to you, and
Super
thank
fun.
you
Yeah.
for sharing all the knowledge with the people who. I hope it's helped the people who are watching it also. Yeah.
I hope to.
Let's wait for making some fun stuff, and all the very best for your film. And
Thank you very much.
I hope things just gets cleared
Yeah, we all hope so that we all can make more work.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Pros and films and all.
I still remember Feb में कुछ नहीं था, और अभी जाके I just wish that जैसे Feb में ये wave आया था, वैसे ये wave निकल जाएगा ना, so then everything will come back to normal, which is a dream, which is in my dream, but
No, it will happen.
Yeah. Cool. Anyways,
Super.
All the best, Sri. Take care.
Thank you very much. All the best to you.